Welcome to the T-roh Show. Transmitting truth one week at a time.
Welcome to the 34th episode or broadcast of the Tro Show. This is your host, Keith, and Stu's on today. Hello, Stu.
Good afternoon.
Tony had some personal business. It's his personal business, so nobody else's business, and he won't be here today. So what we can do is, a lot of people have a lot of misunderstandings of what the government of the United States of America is and what it does and all that. The very first thing we have to talk about is we're not or do not have anything to do with the Constitution of the United States. That's the number one thing. Nothing. Our government is formed under the Articles of Confederation as amended August 5th, 2015. Has nothing to do with the Constitution. That is the main thing that everybody gets or does not get. They don't pay attention to what we're telling them. We have nothing to do with the Constitution of the United States. I can say that 3 times. So if you think you can use this government to bring back that whole scenario, you're barking up the wrong tree. So we don't operate the way that particular company operates. We don't cater to people and all that kind of thing. We're going to show you exactly what we do today so that you understand what we do, and there won't be any misunderstandings in the future when you think that you got that you're expecting one thing and you're getting another, and then you think you're somehow upset for some reason. We have no idea why.
I'd also like to add real quick before we get into some of the fine detail. Not only are we not under the Constitution, but something that many people don't realize is that you can have numerous governments. Government is really just a body politic that's been, designated to help facilitate contracts amongst numerous people. So your town government is literally that. It's a group of people that live in a particular area that will answer to each other, and they form a government. So you can have multiple governments on the continental U.S. as we refer to it, on the continent. There's nothing wrong with that. Okay, so having an alternative government or numerous governments is not a problem. It's not a problem.
Yeah, it's not a violation of the United Nations, or I'm sorry, Law of Nations, not United Nations. I don't know why I said that. Okay, so I'm going to show you folks what we do, but first I have to show you so that you understand what we do. I have to show you what's going on, and you guys are about to get your minds blown. So just get ready, and you're going to also see the end product of what this whole plan is about with Islam, why Islam is coming over, all this other stuff. Why are all these people doing this? And we're going to show you why. I'll show you that at the end of the program. So I'm going to share screens with you. This is it's like an example indictment that's used, and it's used by this government. So here we go. Let me get this thing here. Share screens with you. Okay, it says on a venue. Okay, listen carefully what we're about to tell you, because it's sometimes very difficult to understand this. Okay, but you have to understand different entities, and if you don't understand them, just listen to this program over and over again, and you'll hear what we're trying to say. The international incidents occurred in the U.S. state of Arizona. Keep in mind this entity right here. U.S. state of Arizona. Now, what we're about to also show you will blow away all of the guru theories all across the country. So just keep that in mind. You're going to see the real deal here. So here it is. The U.S. state of Arizona is a creature created within the state of Arizona and has been assuming the mantle of government over the people of the state of Arizona. Keep that in mind. The U.S. state of Arizona is connected to the United States, headquartered in Manhattan Island, under the Charter of the Patroons issued by the King of the Netherlands. The United States does operate within the jurisdiction of the United States, that being the District of Columbia. So they have Manhattan Island and the District of Columbia, and this is called the U.S. state of Arizona. The U.S. state of Arizona is protected by the U.S. military, and its activities are backed by the U.S. military that resides within the city-state of the city of Washington, D.C. The courts of the U.S. state of Arizona consist of officers of the American Bar Association, which is headquartered at the International Bar Association in the city of London, also known as the Crown Temple. The Crown Temple is the administrator of the Treasury of the Vatican City. Vatican City operates through the Equestrian Order of the Holy Sepulchre, a separate country that Vatican City created for the purpose of remaining at arm's length of any international nefarious acts that may occur, thereby attempting to create a facade of neutrality. And we went over this in the earlier episodes of the T-Roh Show, talking about Vatican City and its neutrality. The Equestrian Order of the Holy Sepulchre is a military force that controls the courts of the U.S. states, operating as creatures of the original states of the Union. Now, just keep in mind that everything that everybody hears is exactly opposite. The truth is the opposite. Everybody keeps saying that you need to go into, you need to create a state like a Utah state or Colorado state. That's not true. You have to go back to the state of Colorado. So the creatures of the state are private companies or corporations that operate as private companies or corporations. Creatures have also assumed the mantle of government of the state not known to the people of the state of Arizona. The people of the state of Arizona were also forced as residents of the U.S. state of Arizona. Completely different from the state of Arizona. These are two different things. And further, were forced to be known to the world as U.S. citizens. When they were brought into this state here, they were called U.S. citizens. Okay? These two titles are strictly forbidden within the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. However, the U.S. state of Arizona authorized itself to operate within the state of Arizona without the knowledge and consent of the people of the state of Arizona. They didn't know that. The people that live there, they're born there, they have no idea. This is in all the states. This is not just in the state of Arizona. Now, people around the country would like to think that, oh, the state of Arizona here, this is a corporation. No, it's not. This is the corporation operating within the state of Arizona, blaming the state of Arizona for everything it does. That's what's happening. This is one of their laws. This is in the state of Arizona, the Constitution of the state of Arizona. I'm sorry, one of their statutes. Formation under general laws, change of laws, regulation. This deals with corporations. Corporations may be formed under general laws. See it? Voila. But shall not be created by special acts. Laws relating to corporations may be altered, amended, or repealed at any time. And all corporations doing business in this state, this state would be the U.S. state of Arizona, may, as to such business, be regulated, limited, and restrained by law. That sounds good. Okay, they wanted to do this. The lawyers do this. This is a catchphrase. It's like a song when you have a catch phrase in the song. I don't remember what their terminology is, but that's what they use. Be regulated, limited, and restrained by law. That's a sales phrase. It's like a logo or what do you call that, Stu?
I would say it's a platitude. It doesn't, it doesn't really mean anything. But,
yeah. Slogan. Slogan. Thank you. That's the word I'm looking for. All right.
Mm-hmm.
The officers of the U.S. state of Arizona have been amending what appears to be the Constitution of the state of Arizona. However, a U.S. state of Arizona and the state of Arizona are not the same. Further, the U.S. state of Arizona simply copied and pasted the Constitution of the state of Arizona under a separate title known as Arizona Constitution, right here, and renamed the state of Arizona a state of Arizona, which derogates from its original name and therefore committed an act of sedition and treason against the people of the state of Arizona. You can't create a state within a state, guys. So, further, the officers of the U.S. state of Arizona trafficked all the people of the state of Arizona to its corporation and have denied the people access to their government. Their government would be the government of the state of Arizona, their original constitution. Voting in a democratic process and open elections, a nationality, sovereign collective powers of an independent state, and a host of other international crimes completely ignored by the Department of Justice of the U.S., Vatican City, the Questioning Order of the Holy Sepulchre, the Crown Temple, the City of Washington, D.C., and Manhattan Island. They all know this. Every one of them know it. So since the U.S. state of Arizona is an international corporation operating under the rule of private international law, it is subject to the Universal Declaration of Human Rights and the Convention on the Rights of the Child under customary international law, regardless of express consent of the officers of the corporation. They can't do nefarious acts and violate human rights as they've been doing. And most of their statutes violate human rights constantly.
Yeah, you could make an argument that the whole apparatus is designed to violate human rights.
Yeah, I mean, it's actually designed. Yeah, I mean, it's designed, not necessarily by accident. The U.S. state of Arizona, hereinafter creature, did knowingly, willfully, intentionally commit certain human rights violations against the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. Okay, now I'm just going to go there. This is dealing with a case. The revised statutes used to commit said human rights violations are under corporate law and not state law. Keep that in mind. Therefore, the officers of the corporation cannot claim sovereign immunity, nor can the officers claim privacy violations because the corporation does in fact claim to be the government of the state of Arizona. The claim of a state within a state is notwithstanding. Okay, so you go back and listen or see this, read this along with us a couple of times, and you'll see what we're talking about. A lot of people don't really understand that. So what I'm going to do is show you what a U.S. state is. Okay, a U.S. state is a constituent political entity of the United States of America. It's a constituent political entity. That's it. It's not a state. And this is of the United States of America. That would be the 1789. Okay, this is what they did. It's a constituent political entity, not a state. Constituent political entity. So there are currently 50 states, which are bound together in a union with each other. Each state holds governmental jurisdiction over the defined geographic territory and shares its sovereignty with the United States federal government. All this is complete BS. These are not states and they don't have a geographical territory. This tells you what it is. The Constitution of the state of Arizona is a governing document framework for the U.S. state of Arizona. Get it? There's a difference. This is what? A constituent political entity, not a state. It's a governing document and framework for the U.S. state of Arizona. The current Constitution is the first and only adopted by the what? The state of Arizona. See, they changed the state. This state here is a constituent political entity. That's it. So when you're fighting for the 1789 Constitution, You're fighting for a foreign political, constituent political entity to take over your original state.
You're on the wrong side.
So what they did was is they have all of you fighting for your own demise. If the current constitution, and first and only adopted by the state of Arizona, adoption is not ratification. Adoption is completely different from ratification, which means this state of Arizona only adopted it. They didn't ratify it, therefore subject themselves to the Constitution of the state of Arizona. Go over to the the state of Arizona legislature, and you'll see Arizona Constitution. That's it. You won't see the Constitution for the state of Arizona, which is what it's supposed to read. You'll see Arizona Constitution, some blatant thing, but nobody even pays attention to it. So keep that in mind, okay? So this is what we do. This government does. All right, see all these people right here? These are all people that did resident declarations. And there's quite a few of them. Okay, when they come over here, and they fill out the resident declaration, called Original Union Resident Declaration. Right here, what they're doing is they're coming from this state, this right here, over to their original state. When they do a declaration, that is a basic order for the General Post Office to deliver their person from here to here in every state, no matter which they're doing. We're still waiting on a lot of them to declare the existence of their original state, but they haven't done it yet. They do a resident declaration and they kind of sit because they really don't, a lot of them don't know what to do, but what they're supposed to do is declare the existence of their states in just a simple declaration. Okay, so that's what the original Union Resident Declaration is. So when people want to claim a nationality, we bring them over here first. They go, well, if I'm claiming a nationality, why am I declaring residency? That's why you're declaring residency. Because we're moving your person from here, which is foreign, it's a foreign political constituency, back to the state of the Union, of the original state. Now, why is the state of Arizona part of the original Union? Is because they're comprised of the original Northwest Ordinance. They claimed their beginnings within the Northwest Ordinance, which was under the original the United States of America. It was under the Articles of Confederation. Okay, so what we do then is we have claim a NAC code. Now these NAC codes come from the NAC Society. Okay, and I'll show you where that is. Now the NAC Society knows what's going on, and what they did was they came up with what they called a natural area code. Falls under natural law. It gets you, they're outside of the federal zone. Oh, and by the way, there's our General Post Office. It's already done. And if you look here, if that's still there, if the picture's right, hold on a second. You'll be able to see our building. There it is. There's our General Post Office. They took new pictures, so it's pretty cool. That's our General Post Offices, and this is our bulletin board. General Post Office building is actually there. And that's our bulletin board there. They retook the pictures. John, one of the General Postmasters, had cleaned all this out, all the trees out and everything, and put this building up. And our General Post Office is literally there. It's this picture of it.
Awesome.
It's pretty cool, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay. This is the NAC Society. It's a Natural Area Code Society. Okay, and what they do is they create NAC codes, and they're natural area codes. And USPS says, well, we can't deliver to the NAC code. Well, that's because you just don't download their apps. That's the only problem. Okay, and these NAC codes, this is the actual address. That's what a lot of people don't get. See, this is the city. That's the NAC code for the city. That's the city's literal address. You don't have to have anything else. This is such an accurate system that you can get down to the inch on where things are. And these are outside of any political boundaries. So since these folks here have not claimed a political jurisdiction or anything like that, they're outside of every political boundary. And here's the new map because this one got too busy. So we started a new one. And we'll have 4 more today. We get 3 or 4 of these per day. People coming over. And going back to the original states of the Union. And this is a NAC locator. So let me get an idea here. Here's Toronto. So basically, this is the address for Toronto. So you just click that in there. Oops. You're right. Yes, you're right. Hold on. Okay. And it takes you directly to Toronto. They're legitimate addresses, is what we're trying to say. The NAC Society, they've gone into 4 different countries, and their mail system, the houses were just like Jim's house. That's all it was. So they put the mail wasn't getting there, and the people that were running the mail had to go ask where so and so was all the time. It took forever to do this. So what they did was there was 4 different countries that have this NAC system in it, and this doesn't mean that you're part of the New World Order. The NAC Society has nothing to do with the New World Order, believe it or not. Okay, so once you have this NAC code, that's your literal address. Now USPS is not going to deliver to that unless you use it this way. So if you put your name here, then you put your NAC code there, and then you put like C care of, and then 123 Main Street, whatever it is. Then it'll get delivered. Go ahead and put the zone and everything because the NAC code separates your person from this right here.
Yeah, your screen share stopped.
Oh, I'm sorry. Shoot. Okay, there you go. Okay, so if you put your address this way, like name right here, you can put the all cap name. That's your person. It doesn't matter. You have your NAC code, then you have the care of 123 Main Street. That's fine. You're separated from the domestic side of the U.S. state of Arizona or the U.S. state of Florida or whatever it is. It's a constituent political entity. That's it, guys. It's not a state. It only applies. It's not even supposed to exist because essentially what it is a communist system. It's a communist state that was been planted right into your original state, and then they kept you there, and they keep telling you that it's your state. Oh, you have a vote, you have this, you have that, blah, blah, blah. There's a lot of lies that go on to keep you there. A lot of benefits, because the 2 political parties, the Republicans and Democrats, own all of the benefits that you have. They just created them out of thin air. They have nothing to do with actually has nothing to do with federal. It's just what they did. And they create revised statute, they call them. They separated it because they didn't want a copyright problem. And they're claiming to run the country. All these states and everything. That's it. Nothing more to it. And you notice that all they deal with is benefits, insurance, and things like that. They force you to have insurance, otherwise you go to jail. That kind of thing. So the NAC code separates your person from the domestic side. So this is international here. International is between the states. So let's go here. Okay, so this is international. That's the international address of the New Leader International building. Okay. And when you have states like this right here, state of Arizona, this is international too. It's international jurisdiction because it's an independent state. So you have state of Florida, it's international. And everybody will tell you, oh, stay away from this. Stay away. This is the corporation. This is the corporation. No, it's not. It's this entity, the people within this entity that are on this entity's side, trying to keep you away from your inheritance. Your inheritance is an independent state. They're trying to keep you away from your independence, your liberty, your freedom, and all that. And that's all these people in here that are in the U.S. state of Arizona, keeping you away from this Constitution and the state of Arizona, your original state. Anything to add?
No, we would just confuse them. It's pretty clear here. So.
Okay. So didn't you have some things to talk about, or I guess this is it as far as what we do. Once you go here, these are residents. These right here are American nationals. These are the ones that have finished the little red thing. They're the ones that have finished the process, and they've taken their oath and affirmation, and these are full-fledged American nationals. Then you have residents here. All the blue ones are residents, and I think this is the Town of the Rain of the Heavens. This actually does exist, by the way. This Town of the Rain of the Heavens. But so when we get your declaration, it's usually signed. We'll go ahead and map it, and once we map it, your person that was spoken about and that you understand, like the Fifth Amendment and all that, your person is now secured. It's outside of any political boundaries. It's within the original union. It's delivered there by the General Post Office. And this is proof. That's why we do the mapping. This is proof. You're back to a real government and the grown-up table. We do this all the time. It's every day. So when we're not, now once you have your freedom and everything, a lot of the benefits stop because you have to create your own benefits. You have to create your own system. We have a national currency for you. We're in the process of establishing more general post offices. And we have a couple of them in mind that are coming in. The American Union, if you go here, that's the American National Union. These guys have already convened, and they're starting to write up the original union rules, which has nothing to do with the Constitution, guys. It's nothing to do with any of that. Just keep in mind that that's what's going on. And it's a social site type thing. You can sign up here if you want to sign up for the union. And if the union comes up with its own resident declaration thing, it still has to go through the General Post Office because we have to deliver the person. If we don't deliver it, then it's not delivered. So it falls under postal rules. So you can come over here, check it out, go to the AmericanNationalUnion.com. But that's what we do. We move your person. I'll say this over and over again. We move your person on your declaration, not ours, from the U.S. state of Arizona, which is the political constituency, which is this right here, constituent political entity. It's not a state, over to the original state. and you do have an address. You have money, an address. There we have access to new deeds, new birth certificates, new IDs, registration of vehicles, address or driver's license, international driver's license, passport. All that stuff is available within the original union. And these guys here, we also have a great jury. So these guys here are they're the ones that are committing all the human rights violations. Now we're going to show you why they're doing this. All right, can you go over to Higgins?
Yes, I can.
Right.
Yes. Would you like me to screen share? Is that what we're
Yeah,
talking
please
about?
do so. Yeah, show everybody what you're reading.
Okay. Should pop up any moment. This is from the Atlantic. You see up here at the URL. And we scroll down. This particular article was published on the 2nd, which was late last week, or middle of last week, I guess. And NSC staffers forced out over controversial memo. The reason we want to show you this is because we've been talking, dedicating some time on and off during the last 5, 6, 7 Tro shows, talking about Islam and how it's a militant organization and it's being helped, and it's an organized effort. This border jumping. This fella here, Rich Higgins, is the individual that worked for the NSC and got fired by the National Security Advisor, this gentleman, H.R. McMaster. Okay, he got fired for composing a memo, and this is what we want to get into, is a couple of the excerpts from the memo. Here's one of them here. I'll be reading this. Because the left, meaning the political left, the Democrats, because the left is aligned with Islamist organizations at local, national, and international levels, recognition should be given to the fact that they seamlessly interoperate through coordinated, synchronized, interactive narratives. These attack narratives are pervasive, full spectrum, and institutionalized at all levels. They operate in social media, television, 24-hour news cycle, in all media, and are entrenched at the upper levels of the bureaucracies. Okay? So Higgins is reporting what we've been articulating. He's, in essence, confirmed what we discovered on our own, what we, researched on our own, and that is that the wave of Islam is indeed an orchestrated thing. It has nothing to do with refugees, etc. Okay, it's part of the New World Order agenda. One more quote. Hopefully I can find it down here. Yeah, here it is right here. Be reading this. So this is a little bit more from his memo, particularly right here. National security officials, that is, people that work for the NSA, national security officials are prohibited from developing a factual understanding of Islamic threat doctrines, preferring instead to depend upon fifth column Muslim Brotherhood cultural advisors. Okay, so they're hamstringing. He's reporting, this guy Higgins that got fired. He's reporting that employees of the NSA can't go out and develop understanding of this Islamic threat based on factual investigation. They have to take what the Muslim Brotherhood says and reports to them at face value. everybody understand that? So it's yet again a confirmation that what you're seeing occur, what you see on YouTube, that's occurring in Sweden, and the overrunning of Italy and the other countries, what's beginning to occur here. The we mentioned Trudeau up in Canada, the prime minister there. He donned Muslim garb and participated in their religious ceremonies. Okay, these are all orchestrated events by the left. That is the Democratic, what most people refer to as Democrats. Okay, in order to create chaos and bring about the destruction of America. And that, in fact, I should have marked that. Here we go, right here. Luckily, I stumbled upon it. Globalists and Islamists recognize that for their visions to succeed, America, both as an ideal and as a national and political identity, must be destroyed. Okay? Well, think about it for a moment. There's 300 and something million people in America, and they all have, in theory, they all have access to guns. There's a lot of guns in this country. Okay? So you can't just go and attempt force. So what do? You create illusions. You create political correctness. You fund nonprofits that send messages out over decades of we're all equal and we should all be tolerant and there should be no borders, et cetera, et cetera. Okay. Meanwhile, when you're sending out those messages, what else do? You clamp down on the economy and you slowly create a poverty-stricken populace.
You starve them.
Yeah.
It's called siege. You
Yep.
starve them into cooperation. It's basically what you do. And then you create terms like what do you call it? Microaggression. And you pull, this happens all the time. Now, the one thing that everybody's been asking, even I think Alex Jones was asking this, and all them, what is this all about? What are they doing? Why are they doing it? Doesn't the Queen of England know that she's going to have to wear a hijab and she's not really going to be the Queen of England, Or doesn't Merkel understand that, she's losing her rights too? Well, they're not. They're not losing their rights at all. And we're going to show you how in just a few seconds here. Go ahead and stop sharing. And I'll show what's really going on. Okay, this is called the Kingdom of Mana, the official government portal. Look at the seal. We all know that seal, right? Same seal as most all monarchs. Here's your little crown there. There's your little crown there. There's the knight, all that. What they did was they created their own city. This city down here, and they're using the natives to work the city. Look at that. You wonder where your trillions are going? Where all your money's going? This is it. They created their cities, and that's where the elite are headed, right here.
Get out of here.
I haven't
seen this.
Yeah, I know that. This is what it looks like.
Yeah, I think we've actually talked about how the North American continent has been left behind. The American society has been left behind. We're still with the infrastructure is just basically horrendous, particularly compared to what's in front of me is just stunning. But I was going to say Hong Kong and Dubai. I'm pronouncing that correctly.
Dubai.
Dubai. You know, you look at their infrastructure, and it's real nice. You know, ours is, we've got brick. You know, we got brick 1930s buildings and, you know, 1900 buildings, and we got bridges that are all busted and collapsing and etc. And
Right.
you know, it's evidence of what we're talking about. You know,
The kingdom.
I'm old enough.
Listen to this, man. The Kingdom of Mana is located in Los Negros Islands, the third largest of the Admiralty Islands. It offers a world hub of commerce, autonomous sustainability, and the highest quality of life on the planet. Zero carbon footprint transport, canopy level walkways, decentralized eco energy, water management and farming systems that encapsulates healthy living for the future. It is 4 hours travel from Sydney and 6 hours from Tokyo. And
so out in the middle of the ocean, they've got a island set up with all the modern technology.
Yes. And then
we get cell phones.
And you get cell phones, and that
which are really just tracking devices.
And these people here, those are the workers. They created their own utopia, and the people there, these are their slaves. That's what happened. And this is their president. Let's see if we can get a hold of that. And this guy looks familiar. I don't know why he does, but he does. He's the royal monarch, and guess what? He's the supreme commander and grand master knight of the sovereign kingdom of Mana. And believe me, folks, you don't just start a country and then have all of a sudden have 122 countries involved in it. It doesn't work that way. So what's the best way to do this? You topple England, the queen goes here under a completely different name. And it goes to Islam. So here's their ministries. Now, if they weren't a separate government from the tribes, why do they have a ministry of tribal relations? They're going to work with all tribes around the world. Sure they are, to assist them in rediscovering their stories. They mean the ones you guys stole, the ones you took. Wisdom and ancient knowledge that will further strengthen their culture and belief systems. Oh, really? Okay. You mean the ones you stole? Is that what you're saying? You guys steal it, and now they're looking to work with all the tribes of the world. As long as they're here in the sovereign kingdom of Mana, as long as they're there, that's good. But they still separate themselves from the tribes there. That those people are screwed, completely screwed. They're going to be working in their hotels and all their buildings and doing all their stuff, and then they're going to be sitting around the people that have sold out their countries, like Trudeau. This is where Trudeau's going. Remember, there was a story about some of the leaders, I think Gore and everything, was going down to Antarctica, or somebody else was going down. This is where they were going. They weren't going to Antarctica. They were going here. It's unbelievable what they do, how they have it, and how do we know that this is who they are? Well, it says the main objective of Health Development Master Plan is improving health status and reducing inequalities will be achieved in implementing strategic objectives. To provide technical advice in policy formulation, planning and programming, promotion of health through advocacy, behavior change, communication, social marketing, community mobilization. To coordinate with health-related governmental, non-governmental, international agencies and organizations in promoting the health of people. That's a Hitler signature right there, the communist signature. To develop managerial capacities of health and health-related sectors to manage health promotive programs. To monitor, right here, to monitor and evaluate health promotive programs and facilitate monitoring, the evaluation of them at different levels. To support and undertake research-related behavior change of the community and social mobilizations. Behavior change. Complete and total communism from start to finish. So if you go here, you'll see their buildings. This is what they do. There's just public notices sent out 9th of July 2017. And it was sent to all USA citizens and U.S. government of the world's only sovereign nation. They call themselves the world's only sovereign nation. Right there. So you see, folks, people like Trudeau and people like and the monarchs and then you have the Pope and all those guys, and then they have the Netherlands. This is where they're going, right here. They're going to live here while you live in crap.
Yeah, worn out properties and
yeah,
tattered roads, etc.
And this is where they did the classified LA Times, right here, notice of announcement. So they've been working on this for a long time. And look at that city, man. It's unbelievable what they've done.
Now, is that an actual photograph, or is that like an artist a rendering?
It's
that architecture.
It's really here. Yeah, they've been working on it for a while.
Yeah,
there was one of the American nationals was saying he was watching it grow. This was given to me by another American national last night. And I realized what the plan was. They all were going to live here while you live in squalor. So now I ask you now, how attractive does the government of the United States of America look now? With a post, with money and all that. How does that look now to you? Because once these people go down here and live there, we're no longer cursed with them. We can create a paradise here with a continental dollar, and that's really what it's about. With all the resources we have, if we all come together like that and understand exactly what we do, what we're doing, and how we're doing it, we can create a paradise here in this country. A paradise without Islam, without all this craziness, without all this BS, and we can do it within 10 years. These poor kids, man, these guys are done. Who do you think is going to be working in all these places? Oh, them. They're going to be working in all these places. Who's going to clean all this stuff?
Right. Exactly.
These people.
Street cleaners and machine operators. They'll be the hired help.
That's right.
For slave wages. It's been done before. It'll be done again.
And that's for your Ministry of Employment and all this stuff. Oh, but we're giving them jobs. We're doing this. We're doing that. That's a rich man's way of saying we just enslaved you. If you've ever been around people that are very well off, they're extreme pigs. They're pigs, man. They ruin things. They destroy things. They don't clean up after themselves. They're absolute pigs. And it's because somebody else always takes care of all that for them. They don't do it for themselves. They're pigs, absolute pigs. The Royals, complete pigs. Everywhere they go, they destroy whatever they get into. It looks like a freaking party, you know, a Saturday night party in their house every day. The servants all clean that stuff up for them. That's why it looks good all the time. But themselves, they're pigs, complete pigs. So they have to have people to clean up after them and everything else. So I kind of feel sorry for these people because they've just been enslaved. They just don't have a clue how or why yet. They're ignorant to these ways. So I do feel sorry for them. It's down by New Guinea, I think. So this is what, they have their Kingdom of Mana here on Facebook. But this is why you're being sold out. And I'm sure a lot of the people in the newspapers and all that keep selling this idea of an NWO or you have to be tolerant of Islam and all that. They've probably been promised the same thing. They can go live here. They're not going to go under that themselves. They're not going to live under that crap, dealing with that mess all the time. They're going to go here, live in paradise. They're being promised this. And let me tell you one thing, folks. One thing I do, and I do know for a fact, is this is not going to be for the people that are being promised this place. They're just being promised this so they'll sell out their country. That's all that's happening. All the, they're not going to let the local police into this, and there's no way. They're not going to let FBI in here. They're not going to let NSA into this building, into this place to live. They're not going to let any of those people in. They're not even going to let generals in here. Generals are, scumbags to these people. You're just a puppet to them. They don't care. Like that stuff that, what's his name, Regis has been coming out with, or firing all these people that were dealing with Infowars and all that. They don't care about Regis. He's just a puppet. He's a little punk to them. But he thinks he can go here and live, and no, man. You're gonna be cleaning up the garbage, taking out the trash and stuff for him. But that's about it.
Yeah, they won't even do that. They'll just whack them.
Mm-hmm.
Because the thing is what people don't keep in the forefront of their mind is that when you sell out, you've shown your character. So when the dirty deed is done, your employer has no use for you, and they're not going to trust you because they know you're a scumbag because you sell out. So they just whack you.
And it's the fastest way to get rid of the evidence.
Right.
They have to get rid of the evidence of the sellout. So they kill the sellout. Then they're home free. They're good to go. You did the dirty deed. They're clear. How do I know 122 countries? It's right here. Agreements are underway with 122 countries to conclude their sovereign agreements. Books are being published and the rules of sovereignty to be dispersed. This, y'all get it now? I mean, seriously. This is where they're headed. They're being told you're going to live in the kingdom of manna and you're going to live a wonderful life and all your children are going to live a wonderful life and all that. But think about it this way, and let's get into the minds of the people that have power today. You sold out your country, and you're being promised you're going to come live here. Even if you do live here, you no longer have power. They're not going to listen to you. You don't have a power. You don't have an army behind you. You don't have anything. They're not going to listen to you. You're going to become what you treated other people like, as mere residents of your constituent political entity. And that's all you're going to be. They don't care about you after that. Your use is done. They don't care. So you sold out your country for a promise that will never happen. And what you think is going to happen is not going to happen. I know these people the way they are. I know how they operate. I know what they do. They will talk you into anything to sell out your country, to get, because they had to get the taxes from you. Okay, what do you think bought all this? It's called taxes from all the 122 countries. What do you think that did all this? It wasn't because this island was so resource filled that it could pay for itself. It's not true. But one of our guys said, yeah, I remember when they were constructing this. I was watching this for the last 10 years or so, how they constructed it. They want this to be a world commerce center where everybody does business with them. Yeah, slave labor. Built stuff built by these people. It's unbelievable. But we wanted to let you know what the ultimate plan is, and that this government is willing and able to work towards a better tomorrow for everybody in this country, in the United States of America. We are correct when we say we're going to be when we move your person. That's exactly what's going on. And we're creating a file and everything within the union for you. And that's what we do. So we're trying to get people in the correct area. And when we do, then what we would like to do is create a paradise in this country, absolute paradise, for governed by the UDHR, Universal Declaration of Human Rights. Um, we have plenty of money. We have plenty of everything that we need. We don't need these people. Okay, we don't need them. They're parasites on the planet. All this was built by slave labor, your slave labor, your tax dollars. That's where all this went. That's
And
why
your
you had
moms and dads.
Yeah, $750 for a hammer. Come on, really? And then they've been telling everybody, oh, it's for underground tunnels. Yeah, okay. Yeah, it's for underground tunnels. No, it's for this. You know how much this stuff costs? This is just trillions, man. This isn't just billions. This is trillions. That island doesn't have the resources. You have to ship all those resources in.
Yeah, that's correct.
So that's why, see, Islam is getting the shaft too. They think that they've been promised crap. Everybody has been promised something. Everyone. And it's all lies, and none of those promises are going to come through. Believe me, I know. They're in it for themselves, folks. So it's up to us to come together. The government is in place, national government's in place, and it's there to help you get your independent states to create the greatest country that we've ever known. And once the influence of these guys are out of here, we don't need them. We don't need them at all. It's good riddance. Go have fun here in your little playland. Feel sorry for these people, but their chief fell for it. So I can't really say much about that. How do I know? Because they're stealing. Netherlands, lions. England, lions. All the monarchs around the world have these lions. Thank you for listening to the 34th broadcast of the T-Roh Show. We hope the volume is better for people. We are working on it. We have heard you. And we'll see you next week. Thanks for listening.
Thank you.